Hello and welcome to the 01581 Let's Talk. Today's show is a combination of Help Wanted and Help Has Arrived. Join me and my guests in just a moment. Hi. So I'm joined by our Assistant Town Manager, Kim Foster. She's going to tell us about some amazing opportunities to work for the town of Westborough. So if you feel a call to serve, you want to tune into this conversation. Kim, welcome.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you. So tell us, the town has several open positions.
We do.
So let's start with, for the folks that don't listen to all that we have to say in a few minutes, where can they find this information?
On the town's website, the Human Resources Department page, there is a link with all of our job openings. It includes a description of the position, information about qualifications, as well as how to apply.
Okay. And like any job, there are some like minimum qualifications. There are some desired qualifications.
Correct.
As we talk about these positions, there are some positions that are require some specific certifications. We'll talk about that, town planner and our director of youth and family services. But some of them, it's probably worth having a conversation. If someone feels like this is the job for me, they should reach out.
I'm always happy. If folks have questions, want to understand anything, I'm always happy to have a conversation.
Excellent. All right, so let's talk about the positions.
All right, so we have several department head level positions open right now. We have a town planner opening. That position does require someone with experience. It is a department head level. They report to the planning board, and as the title indicates, they're doing planning work. So right now, a lot of folks have heard about the master plan that was completed. That's heavily involves the planning department. As well as many of the other initiatives in
working
town.
with our community development department, economic development. It's a very dynamic position.
It is. So someone who's looking for that very dynamic role and opportunity to be out in the community, meeting with businesses, with residents, with other state and local officials. There's a lot to it.
This is not just a desk job, so to speak. This is very much out and about, right?
Field work, checking out new building sites.
Absolutely.
So it really is something that anyone who is interested in more information, please take a look. Would love to have some more applicants.
Excellent, super. And next position?
Youth and Family Services Department. We are looking for a director. That does have a requirement. We're looking for a clinician, a licensed independent clinical social worker. That is someone who is delivering some clinical services as well as doing a lot of outreach and work with other human service entities in town, schools, and then other nonprofits. So someone who, again, is looking for a very dynamic, while there is some clinical work, a lot of time out in the community. Sure,
and this position is a management level position, so you're managing staff.
Yes.
You're overseeing the youth commission.
Correct.
Right. So it's a position with many different kind of elements of responsibility, which, like, personally, I think would sound pretty exciting, right? I don't have I'm not a licensed social worker, but
I share that opinion. Yes.
So okay, great, excellent. And the next position.
So we also have a variety. We have our department head level, but then we also have some administrative openings. We do have some positions in the DPW. We're looking for someone who is interested in working in the water department. There are some licensing requirements specific to that work.
And does a person have to come with those licenses, or will
not
the town?
Necessarily?
Okay.
So
probably some experience.
Yes.
But the town will train and work with the person on that.
Yes.
Okay. Or not the town will train, but they can get that certification.
Yes. And then we also are looking for some summer seasonal staff, both at our golf course, as well as through our recreation department. the lifeguards for the beach.
Kim, just back to the DPW positions do you know offhand, and for folks that have worked in municipal government, do you have a sense of kind of grade level that is at, or for that particular position, just as a point of reference for DPW? If you don't, it's fine.
So all of the job all of the job postings include the wage ranges.
Okay, super.
And we try to identify if there's a hiring range. Sometimes we're limited by budget capacity.
Yep.
We try to narrow it down to what someone can expect at
Okay,
the point
perfect.
of hire.
That's great. So they can go to that website and
Yes.
and check it out. Okay, so I'm sorry. So you were talking about seasonal golf
staff.
And,
So those would primarily be at the golf course, and that runs through the summer, potentially into the early fall.
Okay.
We also are looking for lifeguards.
Yeah.
We have had better luck this year in our recruitment efforts, but we are still seeking to hire additional lifeguards
Sure.
to hopefully have the beach fully open.
Yeah.
We have also recognized there have been challenges in terms of individuals having the lifeguard certifications, and we are able to reimburse individuals who for any cost associated with getting the lifeguard certification.
Excellent.
So we're hoping that serves as an incentive.
And I would imagine if interested individuals in that particular, in the lifeguard position, if they called you or spoke with our recreation director, you could point those individuals to where that certification could be obtained. Super. Okay. Excellent. And I was going to ask you a question about the golf course. So are this is not like golf superintendent type work?
Correct.
Yeah.
They're supporting, these are temporary summer seasonal golf attendant positions.
Yep.
So they're working at the desk in the pro shop.
Carts
and-
ready.
Yes.
Maybe doing some ranger work on the course. I mean, talk about a great job.
Yes.
All right, give me an application. I'm going to apply.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually did that work in Arizona
Did
many
you?
years ago, and it's a great way to meet people. It's a great environment. You know, you're outside, and we're not going to have any rain, so
No.
it's just going to be beautiful weather. Why not?
80 degrees and
Right.
dry
Yeah,
all
right.
summer.
Absolutely.
Okay. Good.
Super.
Good.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. So again, for our viewers, head over to the town's website, check out human resources, and look at all those job opportunities. And if you're not interested, I'm sure you know someone who may be. So check it out. Thanks. And we'll be right back with our featured guests from Westborough Connects. Hi, and welcome back to the 01581. I'm joined by featured guests, Kelley Petralia and Laura Cerniglia, respectively Executive Director and Program Manager for Westborough Connects. Ladies, welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for
Being
having
guests
us.
on the new show.
Very
Thank you
excited.
For having
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Excited
Actually,
to be
before
here.
we get started, we wanted to just congratulate you
Oh,
on your
So
new
excited.
show. We're so excited. We were very
Stop it.
fortunate.
Thank
to
you.
be
And a bow.
on your previous show.
It's not cooperating, but
Oh,
But this
that's-
is really a real value to the community that you're bringing, and bringing
you.
a lot of important and good things up close to them. And so thank you for doing that, and
all
congratulations.
right. They're going to make me cry. We need cut. We need.
Yeah.
Kidding. Thank you, guys. That's very sweet.
We're
Thank
excited for you.
So, lots to talk about. Not enough time, absolutely. So, let's jump right in. Westborough Connects. We're going to talk about some programs today, and then we're just going to kind of catch up on the future. Where is Connects going? So, Laura. Unplugs has been a kind of a bedrock event
Absolutely.
for Connects. Tell us about this event that's coming up in late April.
yeah, sure. So it is, you said it, it's a core program for Westborough Connects. This is the 4th time that we're doing it. And while Westborough Connects organizes it, it's really brought to life by our partners in the community. It is an adaptation of National Screen Free Week, which is put on by an organization called Fair Play. And we kind of put our own spin on it and have Westborough Unplugs. This year it will be from April 30th to May 6th, and we have programs all throughout the week. We will start out by saying a little disclaimer, we know technology is needed, we're all on it, and it has a lot of positive things to it, right?
Absolutely.
It can connect people to each other, we all need it for our jobs. But what Unplugs Week is all about is saying, when you have recreational time, when you may just pick up your phone to scroll through, how about
I never do that.
how about we take a break, and see what's around us and see what else we can do. What's
maybe
the
actually
alternative?
smell the tulips.
The roses or the tulips,
Right.
right? It's all about balance. So this week is to kind of shine a light on the balance of it all.
Yeah.
So we do have programming all throughout the week, something every day. I would say something for really all ages, from
Okay.
the youngest to senior citizens.
Okay.
And
So
like
can you give us some examples?
Yeah.
What are those programs? or
Absolutely.
events, excuse me.
Yeah, so Westborough Community Land Trust is going to kick us off with a hike to get us all outside. The Bike Safety Committee will be hosting a bike ride around town. And after that, some of the parent groups in town are going to put on an old-fashioned bike parade for young kids to decorate bikes
Excellent.
and have a little parade. Our core event, kind of during our core event,
Yeah.
is Booking It to Bay State, which will be midweek, where we just encourage people, bring a book, bring a picnic dinner, come down to the Commons,
Sure.
and just read by yourself, but in community.
Yeah.
And at that event, some of the elementary librarians will be there doing story time.
Oh, awesome.
Huga House Books will be there hosting a book swap, so a good opportunity to drop off some gently used but still in good shape books, pick
Oh,
up a new
great.
book to read. The turquoise table will be there. The realtor Stephanie Stucklick has really brought the turquoise table to Westborough.
And for folks who aren't familiar, what is that?
So that all started from a book, and it's all about being a neighbor, but like a front yard neighbor. It's all about welcoming people and having a community and welcoming people in and joining in conversation.
Yeah.
So you'll see a few turquoise tables around town. And she will be at Booking It to Bay State, and she will also be at our ending event, which is Unplug at Nurse Farm. And it's come on over. If you've always wondered what are those turquoise tables,
Yeah.
come and have a conversation with Stephanie, and she'll really be able to,
Awesome.
to bring it to life.
And Unplugs, all events are free? Just
All events
show up,
are free.
participate, and
Yes.
again, all ages.
All ages, and I will say this year, a teenager from our high school, she is in the Humane Society chapter at the high school, and she said, I want to do something during that
Awesome.
week. So the teens are going to come and bring everyone with their dogs. It's a dog walk at dusk at Veterans Park during the week.
Fantastic.
Bring your furry friend and just joy, and it's, just come.
Yeah. What a great way to unplug, intentional there, but to meet people, right? And so if your thing is just I like walking with my dog, and so meeting up with other people that have that same common interest. You never know where those relationships can go. So
Absolutely.
that's
And
great.
our library, our public library, is really hosting something kind of all week long, from the youngest to adults. They're having adventure walks and scavenger hunts in the library, and something all around town for adults. And anyone who participates in their things during the week can come celebrate with cake and ice cream on Thursday night of that week. So
Oh, fantastic. And I think that there's a book club. Isn't there a book club connection or something at Booking It to Bay State, or am I confusing it with another
We
event?
encourage people, if you're part of a book club, invite your book club to come
Great idea.
and meet there, you
Right.
know? So
Get
again, it's
outside.
all ages.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And we're really excited on how the event closes. It has been the past several years that we close at Nurse Farm, our wonderful 301-year-old farm.
Yeah.
So Unplug and Explore Nurse Farm has events for all ages, and we're really grateful to the Nurse family for opening up and offering so much cooking and hiking and demonstrations and cow talk. So
and Veg Out will be open at that time.
Oh,
so
yes.
yum. Can't wait. I can't wait. Okay, so let's transition to another event right on the heels. You're not too busy as program manager,
It's
right?
hard to. That's why I have notes, because I said I live and breathe this all day, but it's a lot to keep track of. And I will say, for anybody, westboroughconnects.org, really the best place to go, because I could spew out events, but it'll be most helpful to go to the website. And for those who belong to our newsletter, we get the irony of that. We do put stuff online that week to remind you, but
Yes.
it is a great place to keep up to date with everything that's happening.
Right.
we'll also have a challenge that week
Yes.
too. So inviting people to disconnect to connect, because the reality is, as Laura said, screens are important, and we do them for our jobs or school or whatever it is, but we also try to bring an element of, balance and thinking about how we can interact with our screens in a more healthy way. So we have a disconnect to connect challenge, inviting people to choose 2 different activities throughout the week where they might have scrolled through TikTok or done whatever it is, Facebook, that they do, but maybe they took a walk instead, or called a friend, or did something that they otherwise wouldn't. Because the reality is, we still only have 24 hours in a day.
Yep.
And if we're spending spending 5 hours of them on social media, that's 5 hours that we don't have to connect into
Looking
the
up,
community
meeting other
and
people.
and be with our be with people.
I know when I got my new phone, and my daughter got a phone, so, of course, you put all the controls on, the kid's phone, but oftentimes we don't have it. So I put on the screen monitoring for myself, and it is fascinating week over week. So I've noticed there are some weeks it's like, your screen time is up 25%, and it's already at a bad level, right?
Yeah.
And so then it shows you how you've spent that time, and it's like, oh my God, I just wasted, or I mean, it is a way to connect, but sometimes it's like you find yourself in like what am I doing? And like you look up and you're like, oh my God, it's like dinner time.
Right.
Yeah.
No, they help you be more mindful for sure.
Yeah.
We
so-
only have so much time,
Right,
and you have to sleep, you have to eat, and so you think about how you spend that other time. And those controls and things that you're talking about, those tools, that's another piece of what we try to do with all of our programs and what we bring to the community is offer some resources and things to help help people. So we will have a resource guide that will have tips and tricks and suggestions and things. So
Awesome.
we'll have a 2023 version. So.
Excellent. And again, appropriate for all ages for sure.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so let's transition. Speaking of improving ourselves and kind of conscious learning, a new event for Connects and your partners.
Yes, so part of our Square One collaboration, which is the work that we do with Westborough Public Schools, Westborough Public Library, the Rotary Club of Westborough, and Westborough Youth and Family Services. That's our Square One collaboration. It's always focused on programming around substance use disorder prevention, mental health programming, and that kind of thing. So May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and last year we had created a 2-page guide of just resources from the town, the school, national, regional, all kinds of resources, and we put that out in a hard copy as well as a digital copy, and it's also translated online in several languages. And then we brainstormed after and said, well, what else can we do? And really what we hear from the people in the community is, I don't know where to go. Like, what's the first step? Where do I turn? So we thought, okay, what else do we do besides this resource guide, which we will also update for this year? We thought, what if we get all these resources in one room and put faces to that resource, and people can have conversations and quietly go over and ask, and they can have information out. So created a wellness fair called Spring into Wellness. It will be on Sunday, May 7th from 3 to 6. We're holding it at Mill Pond School because of the layout and the availability of the school. And our purpose is really to put resources in the hands of the community to bring up positive ways to impact your mental health and to decrease the stigma around the conversation. Let's get it out there.
Yeah.
People need help. Your neighbor needs help. You never know.
Right.
So how we will bring that to life is we're going to have an expo area. We have almost 30 resources, community resources that are going to come in and just have information for you, talk to everybody. They're also going to have some really fun giveaways and some fun activities at the table from like essential oil rollers and things to decorate, and really resources for all ages.
Sure.
Some very broad and some specific. So it's like there's going to be something for everybody.
Excellent.
Besides activities and giveaways in the expo area, the therapy dogs that visit the high school are going to be there for some time. Awesome. And we will also have some active sessions. And again, all ages, from kids yoga to chair yoga. Tai Chi, there's a mindfulness, ageless brain. So throughout the day, there'll be just some fun ways to participate.
Excellent.
And some door prizes just for walking in. And there's also something called Hope's Room, which is being brought to us by one of the resources called Team Sharing. It's an organization that helps people who have lost somebody to substance use disorder. So they have a trailer that comes in, it looks like a kid's bedroom, and they have somebody out there to show you all of the places that look like everyday items where teens could hide substances. So it's to educate.
It's a fascinating. I did a Metro West organization had a similar display at the Natick Mall a couple of years ago.
Hidden in plain sight.
It was fascinating. I mean, and I think anytime a person has an opportunity to experience something, like be in that. So whether it's I'm petting a dog and I'm feeling, or I'm experiencing Tai Chi, but in this case, like this is not. You can't go sign up for this kind of class, like, to be able to, kind of experience this. So I think I would encourage anyone really to, grandparents, parents, friends, youth, who may, have concerns about a friend to experience that.
Absolutely.
That's great.
So we have a really unique a feature of this event, which we're very excited about. And it really is around our goal of eliminating stigma associated with mental health and substance use, but in this case,
We're
mental health.
getting there, but we're not there.
We're getting there, but we're not there. So part of that is normalizing the conversation by bringing this type of event to the community in the first place. But we also have the good fortune of 2 sponsors who are going to donate to the National Alliance on Mental Illness. They have a stigma-free campaign. And for every person that walks in the door, for the first 50 people, I should say, that walk in the door of Spring Into Wellness, $20 will be donated on their behalf to this stigma-free campaign. So people, by virtue of just coming to this event, will be doing good.
that's
So
great.
so $1,000 in total.
And the sponsors are?
The sponsors are Dolan and Maloney Insurance Agency and Thomas Financial Associates. We are so grateful to them for stepping
Wow.
up and really making a difference,
I love
making
that.
an impact.
That's
So-
awesome. That's
Yeah.
great. That's great.
And of course, some light refreshments.
Of
Yes.
course. Well, you're gonna have, you're gonna have
Yeah,
food.
right? You gotta
So
eat.
that is 3 to 6 p.m.
Yes.
Right
Yes.
on May 7th, Sunday, May 7th. And you can come and come
Yeah.
for a while, stay forever.
Yes.
Absolutely.
whatever.
There'll be
Okay.
things
drop
all
in.
throughout the day. Drop
Great.
in art activity. Like there's just so much.
Awesome.
There's a
That's
lot.
great.
And again,
happening
this
that
is
day.
for all
great.
ages, and you don't need to be in crisis to have these resources available to you. But we have things in our town like Interface, which is a free hotline for all residents that are looking for therapists. People talk about not knowing where to go if they need a therapist. Interface is a free service that we'll be highlighting, that any resident of Westborough can call the number, give their insurance information, and they will be called back with 3 therapists that are accepting new patients and accept their
They
insurance.
do the legwork, really. They do the
Wow.
hard stuff for you,
Yeah, and and this is a taxpayer-supported program. So
Exactly.
but a lot of times, like a lot of programs, until you need them, right? You don't know where to go. So
Right.
this is great, and it sounds like a great event. I'm already feeling like. I'm gonna walk in. It's sort of like the deep breath we take before we take, right?
Yeah.
It's like you walk in, and you're gonna feel better about spending a couple hours of your Sunday at this event.
And there are even some teen clubs from the high school are even going to be there to show what they have at the high school going on. If you're interested in learning about,
Awesome.
teen mental health, and they put on programs themselves, so they're going to be at the event too, which is kind of
Fantastic.
exciting.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm not sure if this is a fair question then.
Uh-oh.
What else is going on with Connects? I
Yeah.
mean, what's next?
What else is going on? Always a lot going on with Westborough Connects, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So we recently finished our strategic plan. We spent a little over a year kind of focusing on what our plan moving forward for the next few years are, and we through various means of reaching out and doing stakeholder interviews and other things, we recognize that our community programs are a really big benefit and something that people like to see us bring. So we'll continue with our annual program lineup as well as some of our one-off programs. And so after this, we'll be planning for Westborough for Life, Stay, Connect, Thrive as our next annual event.
Excellent.
And continuing to do Square One work as, similar to the Spring Into Wellness, but with that collaboration.
Sure.
And then we'll be focusing on a few other goals within our strategic plan, one of which is really formalizing our volunteer program. We recognize that our volunteers are our engine. We are a very small but mighty team, but our sort of whole ecosystem of volunteers who come for a short stint of helping hang flyers to planning our events and leading subcommittees. So we recognize that we need to do right by them and have a real formal kind of program for bringing them into Westborough Connects, and also ensuring that they feel like they belong, that they're part of a team. So there's that piece.
So that's a different, or I guess maybe not. It's an intentional approach to kind of volunteering. So many organizations, ask, hey, can you help and staff a table, or I don't know, do some sort of volunteer work. But I think the way in which, as we were preparing for the show, the way in which Connects approaches like the volunteer work, it's almost like it's not just you're putting in your time, but you're here. Connects recognizes you're here to connect with other people, and have that shared experience, and also connecting with other organizations to help them support their volunteer efforts. So it's a very holistic kind of approach.
Yeah, I mean, our mission is to help with others build a thriving, kind, and connected community where everybody belongs. And so with our volunteers, we try to live that mission internally as well as externally into the community. And to your point, one thing you just said is, we have our volunteers that do, work on behalf of our organization. And then we also do things like we're volunteering as a team for the Westborough Community Land Trust litter cleanup this weekend. And there are other times where we say, we know the senior center is looking for deliveries of something. And so that element of service, both internally to our organization, but externally is, a connection point for the community, for us.
So just as we kind of enjoy the last couple minutes together, I'm going to pose a question you weren't prepared for. So here we go. I promised him not to be an I Got Your show. But so what each of you get to answer the question. So what are the two best ways for the community, residents, businesses alike, to connect with Westborough Connects? Or what message do you want to sort of leave them with? And the one message I do want to share is that there is a community survey that is available. So if you're familiar with Westborough Connects, you've attended one of their events, you go to their website, westboroughconnects.org. I know they would love for you to complete that survey. So, all right, who's first?
I'm going to go first.
Sure.
I would say one of the things that we do, we have a Connect Over Coffee, which happen about twice a month.
Okay.
And I just feel like it's a very low stress kind of way to start to get involved. You drop by, you have a cup of coffee, you never know who you're going to meet.
Okay.
Usually we're there, our volunteers are there, board members come.
Red Barn Coffee is there. They give us free coffee.
They do, and it's just a great way to start to get to know the people and to hear about what's happening, to say, oh, maybe I will get involved. And sometimes there's hands-on things to do there too, a little bit of helping along the way. So I would say Connect Over Coffee is a great way. It's a great way to be introduced.
And again, we can find out about those events on the website?
Yeah, on the website and
Through the
mostly in our
newsletter,
newsletter.
Oh, the newsletter.
So
Okay.
yes,
Is that your answer?
That is my answer. Yes. So we have a newsletter. We do a monthly e-newsletter that goes out to the community, and then we do other bulletins throughout the month about programs. Like we're about to send out later this week a lot of. Well, not a lot, but enough information about these upcoming events so people know exactly what's ahead and what's in store. So you can sign up for our newsletter, which is free, of course, and open to all through our website, westboroughconnects.org. And I'd love to share, if we do have a few moments, about another thing that we're kind of exploring this year for future work for Westborough Connects that's going to involve more than just us. It's going to involve the community, other folks in the community as well. And we're really sort of exploring skill building around how to have challenging conversations where there's difference. And so sort of improving civil discourse or enabling civil discourse to take place in a healthy way so that we are not afraid of engaging with each other when there is difference, but that we can have these conversations without disconnecting, without kind of retreating into our silos. I think it's something that, is not unique to Westborough. It is going on all around us, and there are organizations that we are aware of that are doing this work around the country. And so we've been exploring some of that. And how
Will
to
you
bring
come back and talk about that?
Oh yes, we will.
Okay,
Yes.
maybe we can do like a mock conversation about
I think that would be a great
interesting.
idea.
That would actually be interesting. All
that
right.
would be great.
All right, for the next
Thank
time.
you. Yeah.
So thank you so much for viewing and tuning into this episode of the 01581 Let's Talk. We'll see you next time.